Jurassic Park is not a movie just about dinosaurs. I do understand that throughout most of the film, there are dinosaurs that are shown and talked about, and it's one of the biggest draws of the film in the first place. It's why so many people probably went to go see it at the time, and it's why I watched it, and it was what ignited my love for dinosaurs in the first place. And ever since then, I've loved dinosaurs. I'm not a paleontologist. I'm not going to proclaim that I am. But if I see any kind of dinosaur content, I'm gonna eat that up. I love it, and it's because of this movie. But this is a film that is less about dinosaurs coexisting with humans and is more like a cautionary tale for obsessive ambition, innovation, and greed. Dinosaurs are simply the mode in which these themes are depicted, because what better way to get people to pay attention to something than by using something as exotic and cool as dinosaurs? I mean, we rarely see that. Well, at least at the time. There's a shit ton of dinosaur content out there now, but that's besides the point. At the time, there really wasn't. Irregardless, this film is timeless. It centers around one man's ambition and obsession with creating something magical yet real. John Hammond. Throughout the first act, he's eccentric and comedic, partially because that's likely who he is, but also probably due to his unrelenting eagerness to prove to his investors that Jurassic Park will be successful. That's the only reason he brings around Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler, Dr. Malcolm, and that blood-sucking lawyer in the first place. His desire for achievement is above all else. He wants to prove that this thing is gonna work, and he is all in. Now, these feelings are not always inherently a bad thing, because I think many of us can agree that we someday want to achieve something spectacular, and ultimately, we want to be recognized for our efforts and hard work. But as this film depicts, there is a line that can and has been crossed by many people, but almost always comes with some level of sacrifice. Not just your own time, but those you care about, your allies, your reputation. We're all seeking purpose in our lives, but should it be merely defined by what we accomplish? Seemingly, it's all that consumes Hammond. More and more and more. Whatever it takes for more. But here's what Jurassic Park reminds us about this line of thinking. It can result in carelessness, sometimes minor, but also catastrophic errors. Throughout the first act, we are like Dr. Grant and the other visitors at the island. We're captivated by what we see. We're witnesses to the towering size of a Brachiosaurus, the hatching of a velociraptor egg. And not to mention, you have the John Williams score in the background playing. Oh my god, it's all just so iconic. But then there's somewhat of a deliberate pause in the film that slows us down. After so much to be in awe of, we are with the characters as they eat lunch and decompress after what they just saw. No music, just conversation. And then it comes like a hard slap in the face. Is this really a good idea? Behind all the opportunity that lies with something like this, is this really for the better? As Hammond says, how can we stand in the light of discovery and not act? Maybe this is treacherous territory, but does this at all remind you of something? What has been going on for decades and even to this very day? Humanity has never been so widely intelligent. We've never been in possession of so much power and opportunity. In the early 20th century, we crafted the automobile. Then soon after, the aircraft. Then soon after that, the atomic bomb. Years later, the electronic digital computer. Then the mobile phone. Now we have drones. Shit, it's 2026 and artificial intelligence is creating possibilities we could have never conceived 100 years ago. Innovation is cool and many times necessary, but as Dr. Malcolm describes, Hammond doesn't seem to be concerned with following the proper stages for innovation, taking the necessary precautions to be wary of how this may impact his surroundings and others.
And before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
Hammond is narrowly focused on the achievement itself, the next big thing for humanity, but seems to lack an understanding for what it takes to achieve something like this, because there are, and always will be, things that occur that are unforeseen. It's a theme that permeates throughout this film, from a sick triceratops to Dr. Malcolm's tangents on chaos theory. This idea that even with a complex, vetted infrastructure, error can occur. And at times, something as minor as a disgruntled employee can result in the unraveling of an entire park inhabited by prehistoric animals. If we think to today, we see the enormous data centers being built. It's surreal. But then you learn of their impact on the water of local communities. Then we also have something like social media, all these social platforms that we have access to that allow us to connect with our friends, family, and even strangers. But parts of them have evolved into mediums for hate and at times harm to others. And then you have the creation of a Jurassic Park, housing prehistoric creatures that, even with all that we have learned, have still yet to fully understand. One slip up, one bad seed could be catastrophic, and in the case of Jurassic Park, it was. But if this is indeed the case, are we ever really able to innovate, to push the envelope, and introduce things that change the world? I'd like to think so, but I don't always think it's done in a manner that is considerate of others. But I also don't think it's very easy to strike a balance. I'm really not sure. Innovation is seemingly inevitable at this point. It doesn't seem that we're slowing down anytime soon. Many may not feel the need to push further and further, but there will always be someone who does and who will. But with every inch we move forward as a species, every advancement we make, we can only do our best to mitigate the consequences, to be considerate of our peers, their well-being, and our greater surroundings as a whole. None of us are perfect, but together we are stronger than we are alone. As a collective, maybe we can make a difference and prevent detriment to others before our very own creations go on the loose and track us down like prehistoric animals.